I'm the same dude y'all read about, the same tool y'all needin' now. We came through, not leaving now. When these lame dudes, we beat them out. No stopping this. Ain't my way, might pop your lip. Ain't saying this awesomeness, but y'all looking like the opposite. We setting the bar. Y'all know who we are.
We're making history, leaving a legacy. Nothing is stopping me. Better believe what we see. We're making history.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the season finale of the Paradigm Shift. I'm going to waste no time because we got a lot to reminisce about tonight. I'm going to bring in the man, the myth, the legend, the Godfather here on Pinfall Streams, if you will, baby.
Last time this season, ladies and gentlemen, if you will, baby, if you will. What's up, Tommy? What's up, Josh? How y'all doing today?
And now we're going to bring in the man that the stock goes up when he's on the screen. We may not see him for a while after this, so enjoy it now, Mr. TDC.
It goes up, and hey, just so everyone knows, I got a message today from Gene the Moosin himself.
Ooh, I got one too.
And if he's watching, shut the fuck up, Gene.
Oh, I missed it.
The last one of the season, so he should be back for next season.
Seems like it. I'm excited to have Gene back. I got that message this morning. I was like, holy shit, he lives.
That's what I told everybody. I was like, holy shit, he lives. What the hell?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Briggy in the house.
What's up, Mr. Bridgman?
Bridgman.
Hey, Bridgman. He gets pissed when I call him the wrong name.
We're going to go back to go.
Mr. Briggs. Are you watching Mr. Briggs?
We're going to go back a little bit.
You and Queso Dip, make sure you sit around the screen and watch.
We're going to go back to the old format real quick. We're going to hit it with the fantasy question first. I've got to tell you, I'm ready for that to change.
Yeah, next season. It's Brig done, Tommy, not Bridgman.
Get it right, damn it. Get it right.
So I don't know, and I'm going to cover this in news, but I don't know if y'all saw today. Today, the WWE released a list of the 50 greatest tag teams in WWE history. We're going to talk about this more in depth during the news, but my question is, greatest tag team in your mind?
Oh, shit. I hate when you have to give you one.
There's so many ways you could go with this. There's so many ways you can
one.
go.
I'm not even going to give y'all a break this time. Just one.
There's so many ways you could go with this. So many ways you could go. For multiple reasons on some of them.
So I'll give you mine.
Okay.
While y'all think about it. Mine's pretty simple. To me, there's no greater tag team than the Hardy Boys. I grew up watching, y'all know, Ruthless Aggression era. Like my first introduction to tag team wrestling was really the Hardy Boys, the Dudleys, and Edge and Christian in the TLC match. And between those, I can't tell. Is that Patrick? Is that?
It is. They said Headed Warriors.
But the Hardy Boys. And
I'm signing pictures after the show, $10 a piece.
There you go. $10.
I'll sign you wife's titties for $15.
Signed picture, signed 8x10s available on the Pinfall page.
Right.
Hey, the signed nipples is extra.
But to me, it's really hard between those three teams: Dudley's, Edge, Christian, Hardy Boys. But to me, the Hardy Boys were just they are what made tag team wrestling back in the 90s, early 2000s to me. And then their feuds apart with each other were always amazing, and they could still bring it back together and just make you believe in that tag team every time. So to me, it's the Hardy Boys. I knew it. All right,
Oh my
time's up.
gosh.
When do you got to say something?
It's so tough because you could go multiple reasons for multiple ways.
I know who a lot of people's got at number one.
You know it's the Road Warriors.
You know it's the Road Warriors. They got the Road Warriors.
Road Warriors.
But here's my thing. Here comes the Stones. Because I'm gonna throw the motherfuckers because they give me plenty of reasons to.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you. Hawk was a racist piece of shit.
Yeah,
Agreed.
So
Agreed.
it is so hard for me to put them at number one.
it's
Just because of who they really are. You know what I mean? It's so hard.
It's the same argument I have with Ultimate Warrior. Like everybody's like, but in ring he was one of the best. But just
No, he wasn't.
No, I don't agree with that.
I don't agree with that at all.
With that. And then just who he was as a person, the piece of shit he was. Even Hogan, who some people would say is the greatest of all time, his piece of shit background just makes me not like the guy.
Let's go ahead and put it down. The Warrior argument, I can break that down one thing. Dude had a fucking entrance. That was it, guys.
I mean, yeah, you're not
That's all I
wrong.
had.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'll tell you some. I can name some notable mentions because it's just too hard for me to break it down for one. I used to really love watching Owen Hart and Bulldog team up. Those were always good matches.
I saw that question today. Who was Owen Hart's greatest tag partner?
Oh,
Bulldog.
Even though him and Brett had some good tag matches, and like him and Anvil teamed up once, a little bit there, and it was together. And then he had he had other good runs with other tag partners. But man, him and Bulldog just clicked. It was just, it was just something about them two teaming up. It actually worked. And I'm sorry, I never was a huge fan of Davey Boy. As much as they try to put Davey Boy over,
I'm more of a fan of his son than I've ever been of the actual Davey Boy.
Dude, it's like here's the thing about Davey Boy. I always feel like Davey Boy had one match.
Yeah.
That really in the books it mattered. Like when you measured up on a high scale. I'm not saying he never had good matches.
Leave me alone, Dennis. And I was gonna bring them up, Briggy. Don't worry about that. I got that.
Yeah, Harlem Heat. You got to bring them into it. Go ahead, Will.
Okay. Harlem Heat, of course, is one because the thing with me with Harlem Heat, they changed the landscape of tag team wrestling for their time, for their era. I mean, WCW had to bring other teams in to try to dethrone them. That's how good Harlem Heat were. Another team I gotta put up there, Midnight Express, Sweet Stan and Beautiful Bobby, that iteration of them. They were amazing. And one of the most accomplished teams. They were the World Tag Champs and the U.S. Tag Champs at the same freaking time.
Fuck, they're still going, ain't they?
Yeah. I mean, good gosh, man.
Did y'all see where Bobby Eaton's got his truck for sale?
Oh, yeah.
I did want to say RIP to his wife. I was on 2020 Wrestling once with Jean, and she actually came and talked to us in the comments. She's a really sweet lady. So RIP to the Eaton family. Your thoughts and prayers out to them.
Brain Busters.
Another team. Another team I like, but they just didn't team enough to really be in this conversation. But I thought they were really, really good, particularly in the Crockett Cup back in the day. Luger and Sting. I thought they were really good together.
Luger and Sting were a great tag team. That was one of the only things that ever sold me on Luger because I did not like him.
Dude's like some paint dry to me.
A lot of people didn't like him as a singles wrestler, but when he got in there with Sting, I thought they were pretty good. Like I said, particularly with the Crockett Cup.
Luger was what Luger was for his time. He had 3 or 4 moves and a look. That's all he did.
Yeah, that's all he needed. That's all he needed.
We've talked about them before on this show. They were never pushed like they should, but Glacier and Iceberg.
Yeah, Glacier and Iceberg.
One of the greatest underrated tag teams there were.
Dudley's are the best to do it so far as moves.
I mean, like I said, to me, it's the Hardy Boys with honorable mentions, Ed, Christian, Dudley Boys. Like those three, tag team wrestling would have never went where it did in the 90s and 2000s.
Man, how y'all gonna sit here and disrespect Buff Bagwood and Too Cold Scorpio? How you gonna sit here and disrespect them?
The best thing Buff Bagwell ever had for him was the hat, man.
The hat was awesome, man.
He had the hat.
was
He had
awesome.
the hat and the line. That was all in a look.
And
That's
he's
all
like,
he had.
and last time I talked to him, he told me he was selling the hat for like $12,000. So
Jesus Christ.
yeah,
Well, those legal bills are getting pretty high from what I hear.
$12,000.
Here's a good one.
Yeah, the Steiners.
The Steiners were good. Steiners were good. They were good.
But see, I always like tag teams that a lot of people that end up probably lasting long. Like the best tag team ever, which was Sheldon Benjamin and Charlie Haas. Like that was a kick-ass tag team.
It was.
A lot of people didn't get that enough credit.
I agree.
It doesn't last long enough.
As Team Angle, and then, but like, if you follow them, they did some good stuff on the Indies after they left WWE. They were a great tag team. Yeah. And if Haas hadn't retired, I'd still think they'd be tagging.
Doing their thing. Yeah. You got to give the Rock and Roll Express. They do.
APA,
yeah.
We're actually just going to move right into news so we could discuss WWE's list because I have some arguments with their list. But what do you want to say, Will?
Oh, I want to say, and this is going to ruffle some feathers, but I'm going to say it anyway since we going out. Hogan and Savage.
Oh,
I'll give you one before we go out. Earthquake and Typhoon.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
That's probably one of the greatest tag teams ever, man.
I love the natural disasters. Big Boss Man and Hakeem. The African Dream.
Sure. I'm going to just play this and we're going to go into the WWE. Since we're reminiscing, that's the last time I get to smack Will in the face with the news intro.
hey, Dennis, man, I don't think they're.
Oh, this one, yeah.
That was a good one.
I agree.
It took, but it took Booker a minute to get in tune with that a little. It took him a couple of months.
Their comedy was so great, and then like Electrified Gold Dust at that time.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like I've said this many times, Dustin Rhodes is probably one of the best underrated wrestlers that WWE ever had. Even now, just the way he's grown his character in AEW, and like he's just Dustin Rhodes is one of the most underrated wrestlers of all time. Okay, first thing I want to say about WWE's list, I have argument that about half the groups on here are not tag teams. They're trios, they're quads even. Like, the Undisputed Era is number 20.
How the hell are you going to have a faction as a tag team?
Exactly, my point.
Damn.
Well, to be fair, the Undisputed Era tag champs was always usually Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly.
That's true.
Well, Roderick
it's
Strong
not kind of like NWO where the tag belts went on many members of the NWO. It was usually always on Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby. So,
but your number one is the New Day, who every member of that group, every iteration has held the title. And I'm sorry, I love the New Day. And as far as like this era, yes, one of the greatest tag teams there probably is. But I don't really see them as a tag team. They're more a tag team now than they've ever been.
I don't get how they put the New Day number. I just don't get it. I mean, I know it's a WWE list, and they're gonna favor them. Don't get me wrong to put them over, but I will put other teams before.
You ask WWE, fucking New Day is the best thing that's ever happened.
And they're not. And they're not.
The top 5 aren't even involved in the WWE anymore, so they're not gonna put them. I'm gonna run down the top 20 because I'm not gonna run the whole list. But top 20, Undisputed Era. Rocky Johnson, Tony Atlas, Professor Toro Tanaka, and Mr. Fuji, the Steiner Brothers, the Rocket Sock Connection, the Wild Samoans, the Rockers, the Mega Powers, the Valiant Brothers, Demolition, the British Bulldogs, Brothers of Destruction, New Age Outlaws, the Usos, Legion of Doom, the Dudley Boys, Edge of Christian, Heart Foundation, the Hardy Boys, and the New Day. Personally, the Usos, to me, as far as right now, deserve to be higher on that list.
I agree. I agree.
Vince said, Matt, you talk shit about me, you're going number 2 on the list, damn it.
You want to finish off the Hardy Boys in AEW? Damn you, Matt.
What I'm trying to figure, how are the Rockers on that list? I mean, you had them in a match. They won the tag titles, and then not even 5 minutes later, they took the tag team titles away from them. And then after that, you split them up.
Yeah, they really didn't do much, man.
They didn't do much.
They didn't really do much. The only thing that come out of the Rockers was you got
Shawn Michaels' career
was a superstar, and then you got Marty Jannetty, who's a fucking pedophile.
Crazy.
Yep. Hell, you want
to tune as fuck.
Hell, you want to
talking about Mekhi Phifer then trying to hit him up to do porns with him and shit. Motherfucker, that bitch ain't trying to get you stopped.
How the hell you gonna ask a question on Facebook so I sleep with my own daughter? Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here.
You mean to tell me some hot ass porn stars really sitting around going, hey, you know what we should do? We should get a washed up used wrestler from the 80s in here.
Hey. How long? How old is Marty's got to be what, 56, 60 now?
Yeah, he's in his 60s, man.
Yeah.
No Billy and Chuck.
No, I ain't gonna be no damn Billy and Chuck.
Hey, let me play a little devil's advocate.
No.
I loved Billy and Chuck.
Hell no.
I just like Billy Gunn and Chuck Palumbo, and I thought they took a shitty gimmick and a gimmick that it was cringy as fuck now, and made it pretty good and got themselves over.
I think WWE dropped the ball on a potential team. I mean, you saw him team up maybe once or twice, but you didn't see him do much. The Rock and Jericho, they didn't do nothing with them. I mean, they cut some promos together, did a couple of matches on Raw, but
oh my god, they got the fucking Street Profits on here at number 30.
See, don't even get me started. Oh man,
you know why?
Where they at? Where are they ranked, Josh?
33.
Because they're like the only ever Grand Slam tag team right now. Because they won the NXTs, the Smack, and the Raw.
Yeah.
And they did it in such a short span. That's why they got them on there.
I don't like them. I don't think they're funny. Like, the greatest part to me is when they started to add Bianca Belair, and that didn't ever really happen.
Honestly, I think Martinez Porter is fucking very athletic. But other than that, like they're not that big of a deal. Really.
To me,
no.
To me, Street Profits and Private Party are the same thing, and to me, I'd rather have Private Party.
Yep.
And I'm not even a big fan of theirs right now. So, okay, moving past this list, because the more I look at it, the more frustrated I get with it.
Is Stone Cold and Triple H on it? They were tag team champions.
Not that I saw.
Oh my gosh.
Too cool is 49.
That's where they should be.
Someone in the chat is asking.
That's where they should be, dude. It was a dancing gimmick, man. Come on.
Someone in the chat just asked Enzo and Cass.
Yeah, Patrick did. Enzo and Cash.
All right. So, other news.
That's some bullshit, man. That's a bullshit list.
First thing I want to discuss is Edge returned on SmackDown this week to challenge Roman Reigns for
Did he look
fire?
Did he look right?
Good.
Did he look right to y'all physically though?
He hasn't looked super right to me since he came back. Right. I truly believe he's not putting on mass like he used to. He's he's changed his diet. He's way more healthy. So he's never going to look.
Just had spinal fusion.
Yeah,
surgery,
he did just have spinal fusion surgery. So.
Yeah, just gotta be careful.
Speaking of that, Trent Beretta from Best Friends also just had spinal fusion surgery this week. He's going to be out for a few months. Did anybody catch Bully Ray's comments from Busted Open this week? Did y'all see that?
I didn't.
He made comments about Eddie Kingston's promo after AEW went off last Saturday.
Yeah.
And because Kingston made WWE comments, rarely do I necessarily agree, but I do agree with this. Kingston had no reason to make those comments. He's never been employed for WWE. It wasn't a good look for him. For someone who I think every wrestling fan would right now say he's one of the best promo artists there is.
Oh, yeah, he is.
One of their problems with it was that he had just made the comments a week before
Yeah.
that we don't have to study what WWE is doing. That's not what we're doing over here. We're over here minding our own business, doing our own thing, and putting on better shows, and then turn around and made those petty ass comments.
It's stupid, man.
That's if you take the completely AEW fan who's 100% through and through WWE, from what I'm getting, and this is also my problem with AEW, is anytime anyone from WWE wants to try to watch AEW, that is what we see.
Yeah,
it's on a constant basis.
Yeah,
and then it just comes to the point of it's just like it's so petty, it's so TNA-ish.
Yeah,
to try to take those little cheap ass shots when you're not really killing WWE. You're not. If you were killing them, it would be different. You're not killing them.
I mean, if you watch
anything, you're helping them.
If you watch today, I don't know what happened, but Nick Jackson and Kenny Omega look like 06 Triple H's twin fucking brother, and the Young Bucks look like fucking 70s porn stars. I don't get this gimmick that they're going with them. Like, I don't understand it.
It's what happens when any of these fucking companies have ever tried this. They start off hot as a firecracker, and then once that creative flow stops after about that 6th or 8th, 9th year and a half period, because it gets to the point that even wrestlers are not going to constantly keep coming up with great material all the time. It's because they wrestle. Don't mean they're great story writers.
Right.
And then you turn around and take from the fact that, like, you go back and watch TNA's early days. TNA was banging. And then the next thing you know, they don't have no more fucking ideas to do. So the only thing they can do is go back and copy what WWE's already did in some kind of way and try to put their own spin on it. Yep. Then they just look like a ripoff to the fan that's been watching for 20, 25 fucking years. Because they're like, well, I've done seen this. WCW or WWE done did this shit. They're just doing it in a different version of it. That's the difference. That's what you try to tell, like, the AEW fanboy base who says, well, WWE's got fucking boring. Well, of course they're fucking boring, bro. They've been doing the same. They've been putting on a show for over fucking 30 years, man. Yep. Of course they're fucking boring a little bit. Yep. They're going to have dry spells like that because they can't stay fresh. And when you ride in on that whole tidal wave of fuck WWE, well, that tidal wave only lasted like the first year. You can't keep riding that. You've got to start building your company and actually building real storylines. You can't keep riding that shit. Fans are done hearing that. Okay, you had your hype moment. You had that. You got the crowd. You got to smash the throne and all that shit and take the little cheap shots. And people's been listening to it for over a year, but you're not executing 100% on your promises either.
Exactly.
It's about 70% of the time they're executing. And truly, to me, it's time to stop the WWE bullshit. And I don't know if necessarily both Omega and the Bucks need to drop their titles, but one or both need to drop their titles. I'm not for it. Like, I'm ready for what you would call an AEW built guy. And there are AEW tag teams that are ready for those titles. And there are AEW stars. I'm not talking Miro. I'm not talking, talking a non-WWE person and I realize Omega didn't, but he brought a huge fan base from
India.
He was still a huge wrestler before AEW.
Well, that was my problem in the beginning with AEW was the fact they weren't pushing their own guys, but now they can do it now. They can definitely do it now.
You had to have time, and I think they're prepared. Like, I think you're about to. Hangman, they started pushing for the Hangman Kenny Omega feud tonight. Like, they started planting seeds for that tonight. I'm excited for that. I think Hangman is ready for that title. It will be a new start. Because even though he was famous in New Japan, he wasn't Omega famous. He has worked his ass off the last year and a half to become a top guy in WWE.
That's one of the issues, though, is that American fans, about 80% of them, could give a fuck less what happened in New Japan.
Yeah, I agree.
They don't even watch New Japan. You got like a 20% New Japan fan base over here that actually keeps up with what's going on in New Japan. The only thing they know about, like, Kenny Omega and him is that, like, the Bullet Club went over and name was Major Stars. That's all they know. Half of them didn't even watch the fucking matches, but they claim to be part of that following. You know, knowing damn good well they probably wouldn't even watching it when it was going on. So, like,
I mean, half these fans don't know Oscar was over there. It's Connor. Half of them don't know that. Most of them will know that.
I feel like what they did was what I was worried about AEW was going to do. I kind of felt like they beat their chest too fast.
Yeah.
And they kind of focused on, and like now here you are pulling just a little bit over 400-something thousand viewers every week for your show.
Okay, you can't, but we've had this.
But here's the issue, though. When you base 7 months off ratings, and now ratings don't fucking matter to the average AEW fan, that's kind of horseshit. When AEW fans beat their chest for over a fucking year about the fucking ratings and the demo ratings, Jericho was out here every fucking week telling us that they was marketing between 18 and 37 more than WWE is. And now that you're only pulling 400 and something, the same number that NXT was pulling. But when NXT was pulling it was a fucking joke. Now AEW's pulling 400 and something. Well, it's because we're on Saturday nights or blah, 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 blah. Who cares? NXT didn't get that excuse.
Nope.
At all.
They were pulling that, but everybody knew during that time they were going to pull low numbers. Everybody knew that. Anybody who – and, I mean, we all know ratings don't mean shit other than advertising dollars.
They don't mean – not today they don't. Not like people think they do because you got too much replay watch. And that is where the money comes from, is the replay watch. It's not the live watch anymore.
But what I wanted to bring up next, and we've got to at least take a commercial break. We can come back to this. But I did want to bring this up. AEW aired their last show in Daly's Place. They hit back on the road next week.
They better fucking do something.
WWE is right behind. Oh, I believe tonight's show will be back in there where they were, sitting 900 a million.
Because that my problem is the one last week with the championship match should have pulled more than what it did.
I agree, but
it should at least pulled 600-something thousand viewers.
It did 660.
It was 400 and something thousand.
No. Saturday they pulled 600.
No, I'm gonna Google it while we're going commercial break.
Yeah, I'm looking it up too. We're gonna take a commercial break and come back and talk.
Y'all are pitiful. Y'all are pitiful.
I was right. 649.
649.
You a sick man, Josh.
But what? But you know what though, Will?
What?
He forgets it wasn't too long ago they were pulling 1 million.
No, and I don't. But I think
true.
I would bet that this week is back to that. They're back in
Y'all,
advertising.
they ain't gonna pull $1 million this week. Watch.
Not that fast.
Not that fast. He'll take like probably
Yeah.
a couple weeks.
Yeah.
I know. I've been looking at a lot of comments. People were itching for them to be back on Wednesdays. Like people were ready for it. We'll see. We'll see. But
You know what though? I will say this: if they ever come down to Augusta, Georgia, I will see it.
November.
Well, they got a pay-per-view that's coming to St. Louis.
If they come to AUG, I'll watch it. I'll go.
The fucking tickets are ridiculous to go to AEW.
They're $30.
God damn, $30.
$30.
Do you know what you get for $30?
That's not bad considering
hell
I
Bro,
paid $70.
the ticket prices for AEW is more than WWE. When they come here,
$30.
they wanted for the bullshit seats that would usually run about $25 for WWE. They wanted $55 a
Oh,
seat.
no.
God.
That is not what they're running here.
God.
It is $30 for
Even
the,
Patrick's dad, who goes to like big pay-per-views for WWE, like he goes to like him and Patrick's been to a couple of them. He looked at the tickets last time they come through, and his dad passed on them because the tickets were too high. He said, "No, that shit's too high."
$30 for the nosebleed, bro, and then you gonna eat and
But-
drink. Woo.
$30. I paid $55 for my floor seats when I went a year and a half ago. Like that to me, I paid $100 to sit in the nosebleeds at Royal Rumble. Like,
Well, that's a pay-per-view though.
Yeah, that's pay for you. That's different.
That's going to be way more.
And I paid $40 to go to Raw one time. So
I sit in the nosebleeds at SmackDown for $15.
when was that? Because that was a long time ago.
No, that wasn't. That was like just a few years ago.
But what I was saying is I'm so fucking excited. Live events are officially back. WWE has announced their last Thunderdome show will be mid-July. I am so ready.
What do with all the TV screens?
They did me wrong. They did me wrong at the Thunderdome. Y'all did me wrong.
Honestly, I think they should leave the ones up by the stage.
They did me wrong. They did me so
I think that
wrong at
looks cool.
Thunderdome.
The ones up by the stage and shit. If they should leave those.
I hate Thunderdome. I know.
Supposedly they're going to debut a whole new set for both shows once they get back on.
I heard that too.
I
They
did want to
claim that they got all kinds of shit that they've been saving, but you know, WWE's claim they're going to listen to the fans for like 22 years now, and they don't.
I know one thing. They better hurry up because they will lose their audience to Monday Night Football when football roll around. They will lose it.
Oh hell, they already lost
lose it.
football a long time ago.
I did want to bring up one more thing about AEW. If you did watch it tonight, MJF and Sammy Guevara put on a hell of a fucking match.
So that's why we started at 10-10.
That's why we started at 10.
That's the only thing they got going. That's the only thing they got going on is MJF and fucking Sammy.
I disagree with that statement, but it was another. But the ending pissed me off like usual. So, all right. So we're gonna move on from the news, and
They like the Philadelphia 76ers. They can't close for shit.
They can't
close for shit. Damn, man, I need y'all to close. Shit, man. Damn.
Well, and I do believe that Selena Vega is going to be making her appearance very soon. Like I believe that's about to happen.
Let's go.
Andrade has been teasing a surprise since they debuted him.
Let's go.
God damn, I would much rather see him with her than Vicky.
Oh
Yeah,
God!
yeah,
I'm telling you, I respect the hell out of Vicky Guerrero, but please take her off TV. Please.
Keep her in the back? Keep her in the back. I understand. I'm trying to understand. You're trying to reward her for her loyalty to the business, and I get that. But keep her in the back, man.
She is great. She has a great mind for the business, and definitely needs to be involved. But she does not need to be on screen. She had a tag match with Nyla Rose tonight, and I don't know if it was her fault, but Reba suffered a concussion. She's out. So, like, Vicky has always, her character has always irked me, and I don't need it on TV.
Just keep her in the back, man. That's all you have to do.
Her character is literally Karen.
Yes.
That's literally her character.
She's the Karen of AEW.
I have friends who don't watch wrestling who might come over on a Wednesday and see her, and the first thing they said is, she's got a Karen haircut. And I was like, well, she's wrestling Karen. So
That's why, and she is definitely one of the ones that I would definitely admit that she used to get underneath my skin so bad that I muted the TV every time.
yeah,
She used to come
still.
on the edge.
Oh yeah. Hey, just get a cell phone on her hand, and that's all she need. Cuz put a cell phone in her hand, and that's all she need.
But so as we've said, this is our season finale. Like we've been going at this for over a year and a half. This show has changed and developed, and we gained people and lost people, and then they come back. And
I'm telling you, I mean, I'm just saying, I've been carrying y'all's dead asses for months now. You know.
Before we reminisce on all the good times, first we got to say, shut up, Gene.
Damn, the man didn't even hit to defend himself. Damn.
I did want to throw this up. I think we mentioned this a couple of weeks ago. When we come back in August 1st, by the way, Sunday, 9 Central, 10 Eastern, we will be rebranding. God, that logo is amazing.
The Pinfall Podcast.
Pinfall Podcast, flagship show of Pinfall Streams. So you're going to want to make sure you check that out. Our first show will be interviewing indie breakout star Edith Von England. I'm super excited about this interview. It's going to be a good one. And Mr. Brandon Randall will be joining us for the first time in months.
And then we need
Mr. Logan Wade himself.
Logan Wade himself off of his debut match.
And then we need to get Layla Gray back on here. Oh my goodness.
Dude, she's doing the damn thing right now. She might be hard to get.
Yes, she is. She is doing it, man. She is doing it, man.
Yeah.
Because she come on here and I rubbed the magic on her. She was on here. That's what it was.
Tommy, that sounded a little wrong. But
the views of TDC do not reflect the views of Pinfall Stream.
Before we dive into some of our favorite moments, we have to talk about just how this show came about. Me and Will just doing an XFL show, XFL Folds. The network we were working with at the time was like, we need a show from y'all tonight. And we were like, what are we going to do? I literally put a post out on the promo group that shall not be named and found Gene and the man who shall not be named.
Why won't he be named?
Because we don't talk about pedophiles on this show.
Oh! Wow.
Oh, damn. Look at a little spicy on them.
That's some good news right there. That's some good news right there.
We'll cut some promos up in this bitch.
Hell yeah.
Well, and I don't appreciate guys who try to steal my shit.
Facts.
That right there. Well, and I know I had to mention it because that's like Tommy's favorite thing is when that man left the show.
He's my number one hater.
Haterade.
Yup.
He's my number one hater. He probably still watches.
Oh, I guarantee you.
I guarantee he watches every one of my promo shows and goes, "Look at that fat motherfucker took my spot. Look at him, thinking he's better than me."
But things have changed so much on this show. I mean, you can tell. I went back recently and watched tried to watch one of our first episodes, and we've gotten so much better at this shit. And God, adding in Brandon and Tommy just brought us to another level. We ended up getting out some dead weight, and some of our best shows, I've got to say, guys, was you, me, Tommy, and Brandon and Gene. Like, the five of us could burn down a fucking show. Like, I remember,
it got a little smoother when the talent showed up and started saying, "Hey guys, why don't you run these fucking commercials?" So you ain't on the screen for fucking an hour and a half.
Just bullshit. Well, and I mean, we got to say it. If it weren't for Tommy and Brandon, would Pinfall Streams even exist? Fuck no.
Just to let you know, TDC, other networks appreciate what you've done here. And Josh knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah. But I mean, and because of that, we got a lot of man, I was just talking, we've got so much shit coming out down the road for Pinfall. Like Pinfall is got major new shows coming that are going to be amazing. I'm so excited for everything that's happened with this and with this show. And we've got to say it. The greatest part of the show is the people we've gotten to talk to because of it. You see it in our intro every week. Angel, like Kingpin approved. We've interviewed Angel on this show twice, and I gotta say, man, like I remember that first episode. I was so nervous. I had never interviewed anybody like that before. It's probably something I'll never forget because you never still to this day, every time we do an interview, I still get those same nerves. Interviewing Duke was one of the highlights of this show for me.
It was mine too, and it wasn't hard to interview Duke either.
No,
you didn't have to pull teeth from him. He was more than willing to talk. He was more than willing to talk.
And
he's such a laid back, fun, outlandish type.
Yeah,
guy.
We need to get Duke back on once we relaunch in August, September. Duke needs to come back on. Duke needs to bring his buddy Glacier. Duke and Glacier together.
I need Layla back. That's who I need back. Layla!
Like we said earlier, Layla's probably going to be hard to get.
I need Layla. I need her back.
I'm working on getting her fiance. So
maybe he can bring her.
We have interviewed just like I said, Duke was probably one of the easiest interviews we had. Him and Kingpin were just so easy to talk to, and Nana was too. Nana had so many great stories, and Nana is like the Cardi wrestler that we all know and love. Like always trying to make his money, always trying.
I ain't gonna go there. I ain't gonna go there.
And then we've seen the growth of the Revolution WGP because of this show and that beautiful title around his shoulder. I saw it on your wrist. Hold up that wrist.
That's what I want.
You can hit us up on Pinfall's page if you're interested. Every WGP Revolution belt in wrist size. You want that, guys. Hopefully be available on the page very soon. We have a ton of merch coming very soon, guys. You're gonna want to be on the lookout for that.
You can even get it. You can even get a full size title if you want it.
Oh shit! Revolution doing replicas right now. Tommy, are we charging the AEW price?
The AEW price. So you need to put a deposit down before you can even get the
He said deposit.
$700, boys.
Good God. 700? Good God.
Yeah, that's what their replica, their official replica is. In it. Don't get me wrong, it's beautiful. It is pretty, but it is not worth $700.
I don't know. From what I've seen from the belt guys, they like some of them like their makers' belts better. So, I kind of go by what they say. Probably, I figure it's probably not as good. The leather's probably not as good.
Yeah,
but we've had so many great conversations, interviews, discussions. I mean, we were one of the first people to cover Black Wednesday. One of the first people to discuss about it on this show. I mean, I kind of wish Gene was here tonight, man. It's weird not having Gene here for this show. But other than the interviews and stuff we've done, guys, favorite moment of season 1?
When I won the first tournament.
Oh shit! You pulled it out.
Yep. When I won the first tournament.
But see, I would say that.
And he who shall not be named is still mad at me about that to this day.
But still, I have to say, Tommy wins that one because he then won the tournament and brought the guy he won with on the show.
He did.
So
me and Duke the Dumpster took it to the top for the trash compactor.
Yeah.
But I honestly believe that without Paradigm, none of this would have been possible. I know that's the case. Like none of this would have grown to where it is, and every page that's involved in pinfall now is constantly growing each week. The sports report is amazing. Like I can't talk about this show without talking about the network because God, it's like my fucking baby, and it don't talk back unless TDC's on the screen.
And then look at the amazing people we got to come over here.
Oh man,
Kay, Punisher,
Seven
Champion, our newest member Dan, who you'll see.
Well, and little bit of back behind the scenes news. Seven brought me another girl, LGBT comic, that is going to be co-hosting finally our LGBT plus show, coming in September. So, and she's got a fan base. Like, she is a known comic in her area. So that's going to be an exciting show. We've finally got our music show launching sometime in July. The First Generation Dads, that show is awesome. Another real podcast. Like, I could go on and on and on. Like, on and on. And God, have we had bombs? Yes. I'm probably not bringing back Sons of Anarchy because it didn't do that well. So, and at this point in time, I have like 6 shows that I'm scheduled to host. And how many times have I said I'm not going to host more than 4 fucking shows on this network? Shit.
It's a lot.
I mean, Tommy knows. Like, I couldn't have done any of this without these 2 guys. Like, Will has pulled me from literally like walking away and saying fuck this shit at times because I'm just so frustrated. And Tommy, like, what you've done with Revolution and WGP and all of that, like, I wanted that for pinfall, but there's no way I could run it like you do. No way in the fucking world. And I joke with people, Tommy is the second hardest worker at pinfall to me, because everything, just about everything you see on Revolution and WGP is that man. Like,
man. Speaking of that, Tommy, man, I need a ref shirt.
Need a ref shirt.
I need a ref. How I'm gonna be a referee and I ain't got no ref shirt? Come on, man. You brought up with a ref shirt. Come on, man. You won't cost that much.
I can't wait to get me some RYK gear. That's what
I'm
I was looking at that too.
So those stickers, cups, and shirts will be available on Pinfall's page very soon. Like, we're about to start selling some merch, motherfuckers. Like,
RYK ain't got no sense. He ain't got no sense, boy.
I'm tired of all this shit coming out of my pocket.
what the hell? That shit always. I got pretty good bit of money on my shoulders right now.
I know
what you're talking about.
Like I said, work and investment. Me and Tommy are probably about equal.
I watch TDC. I know what TDC gonna do. Hey, man, look, man, I'm sorry, man. Your book got lost in shipping, man. I'm sorry, man. Your book got lost in shipping. I mean, I'm doing what I can here.
Well, and I mean, we're not gonna talk about other people, but like TDC doing the damn thing over there so much that people now copying him.
Right.
Well, out of all fairness, if we get for real about some shit, it's not like some of those ideas wouldn't offer in other places, and I was told they wouldn't fucking work. So,
and I mean, Revolution WGP's bi-weekly shows are pulling huge views, some of our highest views. And
I noticed this past breakdown, like last time I went on YouTube, it had like 30 fucking views almost or something.
Yeah, it's growing.
Wow.
We're growing. I'm excited for where everything is going with this. I'm excited for our rebrand. I'm excited for the relaunch of this. I'm also excited to have a month break where I don't have to worry about this show. It's going to be weird. Don't get me wrong. It's going to be really fucking weird. Especially since TDC won't be back for probably like 2 or 3 months at least.
Yeah, just whenever, and we'll see.
And then it could be longer because he's about to have a fucking kid.
Yeah, I got the whole baby thing coming around.
Well, and that was another exciting thing on this show. TDC announced that he was having his own kid on this show. He gonna be daddy.
I told hell the next. What's so funny is I was telling like Matt Anarchy today, like this weekend I got to paint, and then like next weekend I go to Kansas City, and then as soon as I come back from Kansas City, we got to do the floors. and then after I do the floors, then I turn around and go to Alabama. Come back from Alabama, I got literally a week, like maybe a week or so, and then after that week or so, then I have to turn around and go to South Carolina for a week. Come back from South Carolina, and then in between this, I'm still doing my shows because we got Revolution and WGP's got our biggest pay-per-view of the year coming up, which is All Out War. That's our WrestleMania. That shit's stacked up. So I got to put all that together and still do, life. I got a crazy ass couple of months coming, and then the baby's coming, and then still got to get the baby room finished. And it's like, oh man, I got a lot.
And then, I mean, we've seen the evolving thing that is my hair on this show. And I guarantee you it's going to be another color by the time we come back. I'm actually maybe thinking this color.
Oh, my God.
No, actually, by the time we come back, it will be draft colors because me and Will will be about to leave for Louisiana to go to the draft.
And I got to watch the Olympics.
Dude, I am.
Macy's a big Olympic fan. And
I'm excited. And we're
So-
probably going to do a watch party at some point for the Olympics. That's another thing to watch out for, guys. We're about to start doing some Twitch exclusive shows and watch parties, so make sure on the lookout. I think I've advertised everything that's coming out on Pinfall right now. So, guys, that's about it. I'm not even going to run another commercial tonight because we talked so much about everything, and I feel like I've pushed everything. And make sure you catch Geek Gauntlet on Saturday, 9 Central, 10 Eastern. I think they got a show this Saturday, and then they're be off the next week.
Well, no. To be honest, we will be off this week because Saturday is my actual birthday.
Oh yeah.
So we will be
Happy
back.
birthday, Will!
Thank you, sir. And we will be back on the 10th. So definitely catch us on the 10th. We'll be back. It's my birthday weekend. I ain't doing nothing.
Nothing.
You can catch next on Monday next week. You can catch Seven, Tony C, our new guy David, and me on the Sports Report. And then don't be looking for Pinfall anymore. Pinfall is gone, or Paradigm is gone. Pinfall podcast will be launching August 1st. Like I said, 9 Central, 10 Eastern. We'll be moving to Sundays. That way we can be covering the week of wrestling as it starts and diving into everything that's going on. And so Josh doesn't have to fight with this in AEW anymore. So
and that helps me in my work schedule. So yes, sir.
Like I said, Tommy, I got to say thank you to you and everything that you've done for this show, and Will, everything you've done for this show, and me. Both you guys, we couldn't be here without y'all. Tommy, stop rubbing those like they're titties.
But they're so big and shiny. I mean, look how beautiful they are.
Oh man.
I mean, look at that. It's got gator backing on it.
You can't beat that, man. You can't
on
beat
that
that,
note,
man.
guys, we're gonna say good night, and we will see y'all in a month. Be on the lookout. There'll be little snippets of Pinfall podcast coming up over next month, and our interview and everything like that. So be on the lookout for that and all our new shows. Guys, thank you for making this podcast what it is. We love wrestling, and that's why we do this, and that's why we're here. And believe me, by the time it comes back, we might get Tommy back early because he's going to be itching. At some point, he going to get that itch and be like, oh.
If nothing else, maybe Tommy can drop in like randomly here and there. Because I do got to do something like every once in a while. I got to put together something this season for college football. So me and he's already talked about it. So
yeah, when
AEW messes up, Tommy will be there.
Tommy will be there.
He'll be there.
Hating like a motherfucker.
Always. But guys, thank y'all for.
Let me leave you with this, Cody. You'll never be as good as your daddy.
Oh, that's true.
That's true.
Let me leave you with this, Cody. You'll never be as good as your brother.
I was
Facts.
I was gonna say Cody got his daddy's talking ability, but Dustin got the working ability.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yep.
But guys, thank y'all for joining us for this past year and a half. We'll see y'all in a month. Y'all have a great week. Great 4th of July. Be safe. Don't blow yourselves up.
If you will, baby.
If you will, baby.
Oh, trash.
I brought it back just for that. Do it again. We need one more.
Trash.
There you go.